Welcome everybody to a new video. As I sit here currently in the beautiful country of Norway, I'm in Julie's hometown of Saltness, and you're probably wondering, how did I get here? Because as last you remember, I was just in Minneapolis. So let's actually go back and tell the story of how I ended up here. Earlier in the week, I did a skate level 3 session in a beautiful Minneapolis neighborhood. You got Adam Witkowski, a teammate of mine, behind me, and we are doing some 6 times 8 minutes skate intervals in threshold. And I'm skiing pretty well here. I'm actually really happy with how this is looking, especially because it was one of the first skate intervals of the entire year. Next day, I went for a really nice bike ride and took a coffee stop. Got some nitro cold brew that absolutely hit the spot. Need to take coffee stops more often, I think. And here is a very beautiful view from the bridge just by our apartment. There's downtown Minneapolis. Julie and I are currently on our way to a very fun and very special event. First, I'll address the elephant in the room. I know these glasses are super sick. These are brand new. Got these from Oakley in a shipment the other day. These are called the eye jackets, and they are apparently coming back in style. And I'm helping that, I think. But we are on our way to the Minnesota Governor's residence. Those of you may have heard of Governor Tim Walz because he was the vice presidential candidate in the election last year with Kamala Harris. He did not end up winning the vice presidency, but he is still the Minnesota governor, and we have been invited to an event for Minnesota Olympians, and I was allowed to bring a +1, and also my parents will be coming as guests as well. It's in downtown St. Paul at a very historic site where all the governors have lived over many decades. And it is also 95 degrees out, which is about, 33 Celsius or something. Also, I've been getting some comments about how Julie always seems to be driving, but the thing is, I only record videos while I'm in the passenger seat. So it seems like Julie's always driving, even though she does drive a lot, but it's because I am being safe and not recording videos where I drive, so you guys only see the videos that I record, which are usually in the passenger seat. So just so I clear that up, it might be 80% Julie driving, 20% me driving, but I do drive sometimes. She's also just a much better driver because she comes from a country where you can get your license after many, many more hours of driving and at the age of 18 instead of 16, so.
Try and explain that to folks. What they see is what we all saw in Milano is just wonderful.
Thought this was pretty funny too. This is in the basement of the governor's house, his son's Legos, and my gosh, he has quite the Lego collection. Also Xbox, big flat screen TV. Alright, before I travel to Norway, I gotta make sure I do part 1 of my Oakley collection because I'm here in Minnesota, and I'm definitely not gonna bring all these over because it just gets overwhelming. But here we go. I'm genuinely running out of space here. You can see there's some stuff that's on top of other stuff, but we got a lot of cool stuff in here. That's part 1. Gonna be hard to decide which ones I bring. You guys, this has got to be an all-time annoying packing situation. Trying to figure out how to fit my bike into a bike box. It's like 90 degrees outside, so I'm getting roasted. And there is an insane amount of this cotton stuff floating around in the air and landing in the bike box and getting in my eyes and landing onto my sweaty skin, so.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way.
Life is good, but hopefully it'll be better once I get this sucker packed away. We are at a grocery store called Lunds and Byerly's. We always like to get the hot bar here. They have a $11.99 per pound situation here. And this is our last meal in the US before heading to Norway. So, bon appetit. That brings us to the Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport. Check out the Pokemon card vending machine. Delta Lounge, which I have access to because of a new credit card, and it was completely mid, to be honest. And then we have an Amsterdam flight ahead of us, and then eventually Oslo. Julie is ready. Got the classic airport meal that makes you fart for the rest of the flight. Garmin claims I only slept 2 hours, but that's absolute cap. Lined up like cattle outside of this nice plane, and feeling absolutely amazing at this point in the travel, as you can clearly see on my face here. Made it to Norway around 9 p.m. to our final destination, and sushi was for dinner. What a treat. We made it to Norway. Got here at about 4 p.m. yesterday. Sorry, I'm just balancing on some stone here. We're at Julie's house in Saltness, right on the ocean. And in the backyard here, there is a super cute baby deer that I'm going to try to show you guys. There's the little head. Slept until about 9:30 a.m., which was very nice because I slept probably only 3 hours the night before. That's how it always goes. Now it's about 10:40, almost 11 a.m., and I'm gonna go for a little roller ski to tell my body that it's day. Welcome to Julie's lovely front yard. There's Julie. I am reunited with a lot of my clothes and Oakleys that were left in Norway. So I got the full Razzie kit, including the shoes. Today has been a very light training day. I just roller skied for an hour in the morning, and now we are gonna go for about a 30-minute jog. Try to keep things very light when I'm getting used to a new time zone. And also I probably only slept like 3 hours on the travel day. So let's go for a run. Got my favorite glasses back on, and I just went to the grocery store and bought some of the infamous Muller's omega-3 fish oil. You just pour the stuff into a spoon and then drink it up. I got the lemon flavor, so we're gonna give it a try, but you can't be a Norwegian if you don't drink your fish oil. So I'm gonna give it a try now. Julie likes to take the unflavored one. She said that this one tastes absolutely terrible, so naturally I want to try this one to see if that's true. And I asked the lady that was the cashier at the grocery store, and she said that she thought the lemon was way better, but we're gonna test it firsthand and see if it tastes as terrible as my wife claims. Serving size is 1 teaspoon. One thick little teaspoon there, down the hatch. I think it tastes fantastic, to be completely frank with you. And I don't understand that my wife doesn't like this. It tastes just like a lovely lemon little shot. No. Delicious. So I felt really tired this morning, which is very normal when you are jet lagged, but I felt like it was a little bit extra. And then I realized now this afternoon that I had decaf coffee this morning. So that explains a lot. And my Garmin gave me this notification just now because I have jet lag advisor on. And it says, be active. You may also enjoy a caffeinated beverage. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Anyways, caffeine, important. There you have it, the story of how I got to this moment right here. I've been thinking that going forward, it would be fun to do more creative types of videos, like, you know, testing different concepts or exploring kind of more specific ideas. I don't know if that makes sense, but kind of the current format that I've been doing has been basically just like week in the life or day in the life. And I think that that's fun, but honestly, as I head into a block of training that will probably look very similar week to week, I think it could be fun to do some of those different types of videos to spice things up. I think naturally if I go on a training camp or go to some really fun place, that it could be fun to do the traditional week-long type of thing. And honestly, I might end up still doing that most weeks, but some weeks here I want to try to get a little bit creative and think outside the box so that I can both not get bored myself, but also perhaps have a more broad appeal on YouTube, because I really appreciate the fans that I have and the guys and gals who watch these videos, but to be completely honest, I think that there's a pretty limited appeal on this type of video. At least that's how it feels. That being said, thank you guys so much for getting to this point and watching what was a little bit of a different type of video with a kind of mashing of different clips, but hope you still found it entertaining. And now we're in Norway. Only exciting stuff coming up from here. Make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for the next video next week.